I'm here at 10Bitworks. I just want to give you a little bit of a tour. We're starting over here. We have our Delta bot that somebody's building. We have what we call our Gramps, which is like a Prusa one that we've kind of modified. We've got a little arcade thing over here. Got, let me swing around, that probably was a little fast to swing around. A bunch of shelves that we're setting up for desks for people to work on their projects. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we're near a train, so you can hear some rumbling sometimes. We have all these, back up a little bit, all these air-conditioned offices up above. I might wait a little bit till the train to go by. Walk you over here. So these rooms are air-conditioned. We got a printer. Right now we have temporary internet, but it's not very strong, but we're gonna get a bigger one later on, or a faster one. We got a little kitchenette in there, with a microwave and a sink and a fridge. This area back there has a little bathroom, and then there's stairs, and we'll go up the stairs in a little bit. So we're planning on doing a lot of maker stuff here since it's a makerspace. So we have quite a few tools set up for woodworking. Let me show you some of them. So we got our bandsaw here. We have drill press. We have something there, I don't know what that is. Quite a few bits and stuff. Let's see what's in this box. Looks like it's a sander, some kind of cutter, there's a grinder down there. One of our members is into aquaponics, so he's setting up a little aquaponics here. I think this is mint. You can't smell it, but it smells really good. In there are some tilapia. I believe they're tilapia. I don't know if you can see that or not. We have a little automatic feeder set up, and there's some fancy lights since we're still inside. Over here, these are some kind of old things that we're not using currently. This is our spare wood pile and acrylic. Computer for the laser cutter. Here's our laser cutter. I can show you that later, but it's a pretty big, so I can show you my face compared to the thing. You can't really see it, but it's a pretty big laser cutter. It's an 80-watt laser, so it can cut not quite half-inch plywood, but maybe a quarter-inch plywood, and then acrylic, probably about the same. But it cuts pretty well for, like, we made these little things right here. So we have our little donation box. And the laser, it costs a buck a minute to use if you're using it. And that's not for like setup, this is for actual laser fire time. And this computer here is what we have set up for bringing in your DXF files or your Inkscape files or whatever to make your line drawings. Close that up. We have a smaller laser. I can't remember what the wattage is on this one, but it's maybe 60 watt or 40 watt. I can't remember. But that's the one they take to events and stuff so they can have little exhibits. We got a giant garage door to let, if we wanted to do some like, I don't know, big projects like cars or giant pieces of plywood or something like that. But right now it got broken by something. I'm not sure what. They put a little label on it that says do not open, door damaged. If you read that or not. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. So this cable down here is what snapped off of there. You can see that. And then whenever we use the laser, we have that little coil there that sends out the smoke. And over here we have our woodworking area. So right now that table is kind of cluttered with stuff for adding power, I think, somewhere. Let's see what we have over here. So we have more extra wood here. This is, I think this is a metal lathe. So not a wood lathe, but a metal lathe. We have that. And somebody donated this, but we need a counterbalance for it. So it's like extremely heavy to lift up, but it's basically just a circle saw on a thing like you would have at Home Depot or wherever to cut the pieces of plywood in half. We have drops in the ceiling that we let the power come down. They were working on that. Here's a, what do they call it? DM 2001. Anyway, it's like a dynamite? Yeah, dynamite. So it's a little 3-axis, I guess you would call it a CNC. I'm not sure what you would call it, but cutting out parts, and they were working on that, so it cuts metal. I think they're still trying to fine tune how to connect to it though. And then we have a nice table saw, of course. And then we made this table a couple of weeks ago. You can see that for our miter saw, our chop saw. I think they were cutting metal pipes now, but there's this one, and I don't see the other one. Oh, right there behind it. So the wood one's there, and it looks like there's another metal cutter behind it. And you can see we have a lot of space. And then this corner is the burner group. So they do like the Burning Man stuff, and I think some other things. But they have this. They said this is kind of like their parts that they use, and they kind of cut them up and weld them into stuff like that. I believe, like these big torches they put on top of. I'm not sure what they use them for, but they have like fire inside of there. So it makes some really neat stuff. And I won't be able to get out there right now, but I'll open it up and I'll show you later. But we have a little patio. Can we sneak through there? Nope, we can't sneak through there. Have a patio outside, and I can show you in a bit. Like I said, it's a pretty big space compared to what we had before. And then there, go back in this area. We have a soda machine, and then there's get out to the back, but there's not much out in the back there, just a bunch of grass and stuff. And the train is right in that area. And then we kind of go into this room for like our meetings and stuff. So nice air conditioning. So you can see it's a small room. Big, well, it's actually a relatively big room, but there's a big table in the middle of it. I'm sorry, I'm sweating. So let me take you upstairs. I'll show you where I spend most of my time. Hope your day's going good. Your day's going pretty good, other than it's kind of hot. We're in for anybody that's not in San Antonio, we're in San Antonio. We're off of West La Chapelle. I'll probably put the link in the description on where the actual, I think it's 130, either East La Chapelle or West La Chapelle. It's kind of near downtown. All right, so we have this room. So we have a little jewelry stand and a nice blinking light. Some woodworking stuff. I think they're just piling it up here. Some electronic station, little static mat. I think they were working on the AC, kind of put it back in the wall, or put a new one in the wall, I think. Got rid of the older one. And this is where I spend most of my time. With the squeaky fan. Anyway, so we have a table here, and then we get together on the weekends and play some board games. So we have quite a few board games here that we like to play. Play a lot of Mansion of Madness themed things. And then we can go out here, just a little balcony. And I think that's I'm not sure. It's like a iron-on press for a t-shirt or some kind of big flattening heavy heat thing. That makes sense. I can't get out. There we go. All right, so we get a sky view of the space. So this is a little stand-up area. There's Tippy. We cut that out on the laser, so it's pretty big. Take one of his spines out so you can see it compared to my hand.